Greetings, class. You are in station 1, right? You're looking for specific or very vivid verbs, and you're going to add some details. All right, I'm going to start out by, I gave you a verb list. It's some basic verbs and how you can make them a little stronger. I want you to take this and a glue stick. Both of these items should either be in your station or I may have extras at the back of the room. And I want you to glue it in your writer's journal. So find your next blank page, take your glue this on a page. I labeled it specific verbs. Okay, so I have mine glued in right here. Now I have a good list of verbs. All right, I have my list of verbs. What am I going to do with that? Well, I'm going to look through my writing and see if I can find any verbs that could be a lot stronger if I change them. And I already looked through here and I noticed at the bottom I said my sister laughed, that I fell out of my tube. I noticed laughed is one of my choices. And here it says I could say chuckle, I could say chuckled, I could say snickered. I like snickered because that sounds a little more sinister and my sister can be evil. So I'm going to change it to snickered. It's in past tense, so I'm adding ed to all these verbs. Now I'm going to highlight this, and my specific verbs need to be green. So I'm going to go here. I made one change. I'm going to highlight it in green. All right, then I'm also going, all right, well, that's a great verb change, but what if I want to change a verb and it's not on my list? I wanted to show you that you can actually use thesaurus.com. And if I go, and if you notice, it's basically dictionary.com. There's another tab. It says thesaurus. I noticed that it said in my third paragraph, as I sank to the bottom. So the verb is sank. It's an action word. So I'm going to put sank. And again, and this is the present tense. And so it means to fall in or go under. And that's what I want. And it has words like capsize, decline, descend, ram. Okay, if I don't know them, I'm not going to use them, but I see the word plummet. And I need it, and I'm thinking, as I plummeted to the bottom, that sounds really cool. So I'm going to go back to my writing. I'm going to go back to where it says, as I sank to the bottom. So instead of sank, I'm going to take out that word and say plummeted. Ooh, big word. As I plummeted to the bottom, I looked up through the water. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to turn it green. Now I have two very vivid verbs in my story. I want to add very specific details as well. So I'm going to look through my story and see if I see any place where I've been pretty vague. I noticed in my first paragraph I said, when we arrived, we were very happy to be there. After getting through the gate, we began to rides. That doesn't even make sense. So we began to, what did we do? Well, I need to be specific. Did we ride a certain ride? We actually began to ride the lazy river. The lazy river ride. Okay, so I changed that. I went from being vague to very specific. Specific details are going to be highlighted in blue. So I'm going to go up here, I'm going to highlight, I'm going to use the lighter color blue, and bam, now I have two verbs and one specific detail. All right, that's what I did. See what you can find in your own paper.